Hi, I'm Dr. Johnny. Thanks for joining me today. We're talking Radiesse. It's a Raji's quick clip in 3 seconds. So a lot of people know Radiesse. It was FDA approved, as I recall, around 2007 or so. I started using it then. A lot of people have questions because a lot of people still use it, but a lot of people don't know exactly what it is and where it should be used. We'll go through that today. If you like the videos, click like. Remember, subscribe, click the bell, and you'll be notified of the upcoming videos. I really appreciate all of our subscribers here. We've had a fun little run. We're going to continue. The more likes and the more subscribers we get, the more videos we can do to keep your skin beautiful. Now, Radiesse. I remember, of course, Restylane was the first high hyaluronic acid. It was dissolvable. Dissolving wasn't commonly known or done in 2003-04. We were all worried about hyaluronidase, which we commonly use now. Radiesse came along in 2007. We used it commonly in the cheeks. Non-dissolvable calcium hydroxyl apatite. So you had to be a little more careful with it because there was never really that option of dissolving. FDA approved for the nasolabial folds at that time and moderate to severe folds, and I recall HIV lipoatrophy as well. Took a lot of syringes, but it works well for that. Today we also use it in the hands commonly. Most of the things we do are off-label. So what is it? The syringes typically comes as a 1.5. You can get less amounts, but that's the most commonly used, 1.5 cc's. What's in it? 70% carboxymethylcellulose, which is a carrier, typically goes over 1 to 3 months. The biostimulator portion of it would be the calcium. And the calcium hydroxyl apatite, it is metabolized naturally by the body, but before it does, it produces collagen by way of fibroblast activity. It's removed by macrophages and the such, the way the body gets rid of products. The key there is the microsphere is the perfect size so it doesn't form granulomas. Very rare complication. It's a complication of all fillers, and a lot of people here ask me, what's the safest filler? What should I do? Which one doesn't have side effects? Everything has side effects. You can use a cannula, you can use a needle, use it in the FDA approved areas. There's a side effect. That's why you have a provider. That's why you go through risk, benefits, and most importantly, your aesthetic look and how it applies to you and your medical history. Key components you cannot miss out. So that's what the syringe is. How long does it typically last? The results usually are a year. Like other products, one thing we know from years ago when we didn't know a lot about it, we'd inject someone, say the marionette or the melomental fold or even a cheek. And then you might not come back for 2 or 3 years, but they were better than they were before they came. And that was 3 years later. Did the product last that long? Not necessarily. Their aging rate was less than the result, the collagen that was produced by the result. HA fillers produce some collagen, likely by way of stretch. Biostimulators, you think of this product, Radiesse, Sculptra biostimulator, and even something like Bellafill, PMMA, the permanent product, 5-year to permanent, however you want to look at it, the spheres stay. Those stimulate your body's own collagen. Combining biostimulators, high hyaluronic acid filler, and of course, PDO Threads, RF microneedling, Plasma Go, Plasma Eyes, all those things can be done, and for me should be done because we're addressing the whole face as one, and you need these tools in your practice. Radiesse is a great product and it has a nice longevity to it, but the 1 year would be the accepted rate. Let's talk about its special uses, because one of the things that I guess differentiates it from a lot of other products is that it's the #1 G prime filler. What does that mean? Okay, power. See the sharp edge? You can create that because it's calcium. It's hard. This is metal, I think. Probably some type of plastic, but it's hard like that. It's a white paste, but of course calcium's hard. Doesn't draw water in. What do you want for a jawline? Sharp. What might you want in the nose? Sharp, and you don't want it to migrate. Okay, and the biostimulatory effect people like because you get a longer term result through that. So it's a high G prime biostimulator. Think of that when you're using it. The high cheek is a really nice area, especially for a female. I know males like a high cheek too, but if you want that crisp jawline, that crisp cheek bone that doesn't draw water in, that doesn't look boggy, Radiesse is a great choice. I use a large gauge cannula. 22 is great, flows nicely. Larger gauge cannulas is safer. Where don't I use it? Personally, everyone has their art. It's not wrong if people want to use it. A lot of people dilute it down, use hyper dilute Radiesse. I like that. I use a lot more Sculptor than hyper dilute Radiesse, but I think it's a great product. It will have its place and it can be used very well. People love it, especially kind of practices that tend to do more Radiesse than other products. And that's people's art and science combined again. But the under eye, I don't use it. In the lips, I don't use it. In the neck, I'm very careful. Anything that creates a nodule in the neck, and anything can create a nodule, if you can't dissolve it, you always have to wonder what it is. You won't know. Is it a nodule from a biological process that we need to investigate? Or is it a nodule from calcium or biostimulation? And it presents a conundrum. Now you're not gonna, if you do 20 or 50 or 80 of these, you may never see that. You're oblivious to it. Great. But if you're a clinic or if you've done hundreds or even up to thousands when you pool data from many practitioners, it just takes one to create a problem and then you're like, oh boy, I never thought of that. But it's a consideration when treating the neck with anything. Thin skin, platysma is a strong muscle, be mindful. Jawlines, cheeks, hands, preauricular, hyperdilute, it works great. I'm a fan of Radiesse. What's your thought? What's your favorite product? How do you like to use Radiesse? Stay tuned here. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.